So this tutorial is about revision worksheet number 1 that has been provided to the students for the midterm exam for ICT. And I'm just going to explain the whole worksheet, and code it in this video so that students who are having trouble or facing problems in coding or making subroutines can follow this tutorial. Now, the question is, write a subroutine called square that makes a square by using the shapes object. And if you look at the points, these are the details, the different aspects of the subroutine. Use the shapes object and give a shape name to the square. Do not name it square like the subroutine. Use some other name. So when we're using a subroutine that's called square, we're not going to repeat the same name for the shape name. So first things first, write a sub space square. That's the name of the subroutine. Square will be the name of the subroutine. After that, press enter. This indent or space at line number 2 is left intentionally by small basic so that the programmer knows that all the lines that follow this line, sub and the subroutine name, sub square, are part of this subroutine. Okay, so back to the worksheet. Use the shapes object and give a shape name to the square. We have to make a square with the shapes object, and we have to give it a shape name. And we cannot give it the same name as square. We can even give it square 1, but it should not be exactly the same name as the subroutine. Sometimes it creates problems. Okay, and point number 2, use graphics window.getRandomColor to allow each square to have a different color. Now, this line should go before you start adding a square with the shapes object. So graphics window.getRandomColor, you should add it to your brush color, because brush color is basically the property of the graphics window that decides what color will be inside the shape that has been drawn with the shapes object. So graphics window dot brush color equals to, and then graphics window dot get random color. That's how the brush color will get a random color or a different color every time that the subroutine is called, or every time that the subroutine is run. Back to the worksheet. Now we can add the square with the shapes object, and we can give it a shape name. Because it's the shapes object, so you'll write shapes dot add rectangle, because add rectangle adds squares and rectangles, and add ellipse will add ovals and circles. But before you do that, you also need to give it a shape name so that you can move that shape to a random location. Without a shape name, you will not be able to move it. So I'll just give it the name, let's say R, or I'll just name it R1, equal to sign, that's necessary after the shape name. And then shapes, that's the object that we have to use, and a dot. And the action or the command of the shapes object that we are going to use to make a square is add rectangle. There is no add square. There's no such command in small basic. You have to use add rectangle. And if you are required to add a circle, then you use add ellipse. So the difference between an oval and a circle will be if the width and height of both, if both the width and height in the brackets are the same, and you're using add ellipse, that will make a circle. And if you're using add rectangle and both the width and the height are the same, that will make a square. Otherwise, if the width and height are different and you're using shapes.add rectangle, it will make a rectangle. And if the width and height are different and you're using shapes.add ellipse, it will make an oval, not a circle. So now we need to make a square. So the width and height are already given. Both are 50 and they have to be the same number. They have to be equal in order to make a square. So all you have to do is write 50 comma 50 inside the bracket. The first number is the width. The second number is the height. So that takes care of adding a square. Now, the rest of the points. Point number 4. Use Math.GetRandomNumber to generate two random numbers and store the random numbers in two variables called x and y. Now, math is another object and getRandomNumber is one of its actions. And all it does is it generates a random number from, let's say, 0 till the limit. And in the next point, we have been given the limit. Maximum limit for the random numbers is 500. So the syntax for math.getRandomNumber is basically math.getRandomNumber, and you put a bracket and you write the limit inside the bracket. But before you do that, we also have to store the random number, each random number, in a separate variables. So to write variables, all you need is the variable name. So the first variable name is x. It's given in the worksheet. X equals to. Okay. Use math.getRandomNumber to generate two random numbers and store the random numbers in two variables called x and y. So the first variable is x. Just type x and an equal to sign, and then math, the object math, then a dot, get random number, not random color, bracket open, limit has been given in the worksheet, it's 500. Put a 500 here in the brackets and close it. So that's one random number between 0 to 500 that will be stored. It can be any number between 0 to 500. That's why it's called a random number. And it will be stored in the variable x. And the same for the variable y. Y equals to math dot get random number, and the same limit, the same maximum limit of the random number. All this limit does is it stops the program from, or it stops this action of the math object from generating a number that is larger than 500. Now that takes care of the random number and the variables. So whatever the random number is generated will be stored in x and y, two random numbers and two variables. Now, to move the shape and move the square to a random location and call the subroutine square 4 times. So the only way to move that we've studied so far, the only way to move a shape that has been drawn with the shapes object is shapes.move. You need three things. You need the shape name, and you need two numbers for the x and y axis. Instead of using numbers, we're going to just write the variable names. So first, the shape name, R1, that's the shape name, comma. You can write x here, comma, and you can write y here. Because we have stored random numbers in x and y. If you write a specific number like 50, or let's suppose if I write 60, 70, these are constant numbers, these are fixed values, then every time you run this subroutine, all the squares will be moved to this same exact position on the graphics window, and you will not see different squares on the screen. You will see just one square, even if you run it 100 times. So just use a variable here And here, because you stored random numbers, these variables will carry a random number inside them, and that will be passed on to this move command. And then you can end the subroutine because that is all that is required. Now, because we have to call this subroutine 4 times, we'll just type square, and there you go. You can auto-complete it just by pressing enter. And that's the advantage of using subroutines. You don't have to copy and paste these lines of code over and over again. You can write the code once and call it as many times and call the subroutine as many times as you want. That's the major advantage of using a subroutine. Okay, and if I run this, 4 squares, and every time I run them, they will have a different color and they will be in different locations because the random numbers are basically dictating where on the graphics window will the square be moved. And the random color is basically for the brush color that makes sure that the same color is not repeated. Well, sometimes it will be repeated because there is a limited set of colors that Small Basic recognizes or supports. So every time the location is different and the colors are all random. So that was it for this tutorial, and I hope this will help the students in practicing the revision worksheet number 1 for the upcoming exam.